hitters, the pinch pitchers that come in, or the relief pitchers, I should say, to fix up that game. You have a pinch jungler here. Shrimp's able to lock it in, or a relief jungler to finish it out. And he's been doing a great job. The Sivir gets locked out. Apex, they just don't want to see that engage coming in from Impulse. We've seen that's the comp Impulse wants. If they'd had Sivir, they'd be much more happy.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a first-round ban every time. Ryze being highly prioritized, pick M ban. Rek'Sai going to get knocked off the table again. I think that's, once again, Shrimp talking about tanky, supporty guys. Rek'Sai is fantastic. Early enabler. He's able to get your team ahead and carry that way. Nidalee going to be taken off the table. These are pretty straightforward bans. I was wondering if things were going to change up. Actually, the Echo ban coming out, that's new. But yeah, I was really wondering if Tip was going to ban out TF, because they really seem to struggle against TF.
Maybe if they get the lane swap in. Well, no, because then you open up the lanes and you help TF. I don't know. You're right. You got me, Azael.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, it can obviously be one of those things where there's like, hey, we just need to do X. That's how we're going to react to this. We just need to play a little bit better, rotate a little bit faster, play a little bit safer, that kind of stuff. That's all fine. But Kindred going to be picked up, and we remember game 1 for Procxin, or he was an absolute monster. We'll see if he can get that going once again. But Kindred has been huge in this series, and gragas going to be the lock-in.
Finally finding his way into the game, and sure, you heard Shrimp say, I'm not much of a Kindred player. Liar. The gragas, though, will be locked in. He's more of a tank player, so it feel like that'll be comfort for him. The Azir, finally not on that ban list, does find himself in the hands of Pirean.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to open up by banning out that Echo. So yeah, definitely has the confidence to do that. And I mean, you're going to have to give up the counter pick anyway, because Apex does have that last pick.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see how that does work out for him. Azir very versatile, but gragas, we talked about gragas has the displacement. You can knock someone out of the Kindred ult, so you can also combo people very hard with him. So he definitely matches up pretty well against Kindred, at least in the early mid game.
Police could be taking that Corki right to the AD carry position.
Yeah,
we've seen it both in the hands of Keane and Police, just most recent as these last semi-final games.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't normally say this, but after the first game, the Graves could even be in the mid lane. There's 2 champions already down that actually could theoretically be going to mid lane. And I mean, they also have the last pick, so very likely that's going to be the mid laner. But with Keane, it could be Graves, it could be Corki. Hell, he could bring Alistar to the mid lane. Keane seems to just do whatever he wants.
Bring back the Shushay.
Yep.
It's been so long.
And Maokai, Alistar.
Yeah. One shot. Everybody around you. Trundle getting locked in. A big kind of front tank line here that they'll have once they start this fight. Very interesting. Usually you see the Azir getting picked against the Kindred as well to knock and throw people out of the ultimate. This time it'll be used. Maybe to still kill.
The same way,
Maybe to still kill, right.
You can knock the enemies out of there, so it does have that same kind of principle that applies, but it's looking like it's going to be Trundle support, Maokai top lane. Trundle support is very strong.
Maokai support, Trundle top, have we come full circle?
Could be, who knows? But Trundle's a lot of bang for your buck, right?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
You get that ult down from the support, and you're completely shredding a tank. Oh my,
did that just lock in?
Oh,
yes!
Keane.
Oh, it's been so long since we've seen the mid lane Jarvan. Really, everything. We've seen Froggen, we saw Faker doing this a while back.
Yeah.
A while back.
I'm excited.
I am also excited. This is a mean pickup for Keane here. He's going to look to carry from the mid lane, and the swap around actually puts gragas towards the top, and Shrimp's going to take Graves now, because then he's the tanky guy. He doesn't want to be the killer guy. I think it'll stick like that. When 20 seconds are on the clock, then you know those are locked in.
Yeah, and I mean, really cool stuff. Keane always one of the guys not afraid to experiment, not afraid to...
Talking about it the whole series.
Yeah.
He does it again.
And I mean, Graves mid lane first game, didn't really work out. J4 mid lane, he's going to be bringing that out, trying to be the Azir counter. So we'll see how that's going to play out for him. But if Keane can get a big advantage, it's going to go really poorly for that Azir in the mid lane. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, if he's able to fall behind, it's going to be rough in the late game for a DPS Jarvan.
This is going to be an awesome game to see. Really playing the compositions that they've played throughout the season and then bringing out something special here in the promotion tournament. What more can you ask for? Let us know if you think Apex can pull off the reverse sweep. Tweet hashtag APX win or hashtag TIP win to @LOL Esports. We'll see how the fans are calling it in just a bit. It is Impulse's game point to solidify their spot. Somebody is going to be facing TDK, who also looking quite strong themselves, even in their loss. We're going to be getting into this game number 4. Impulse still on the brink of that victory. And Apex looking to keep themselves in the promotion tournament here for this spot in the LCS.
Yeah, one cool thing to keep in mind with the J4, you know, in a pretty recent patch, that ultimate damage became kind of AoE. So when you do throw that on the Cataclysm, anyone caught inside takes that damage. So
yeah, that change is so nice.
It gives you the potential, if there's multiple carries grouped up, you, as a full DPS Jarvan, you can actually one-shot multiple people. You can just pop everyone. So
yes,
it's that big play potential.
This is like a play-by-play's dream. Just want to see everyone explode. make the epic call.
Saw you, Riv.
So Keane, we'll see what he decides to build. He's going to start Corrupting Potion first, make sure to get more damage in there, and make sure his AP or HP can stay up.
Yeah.
All his AP on Jarvan. He'll get those flag tosses down.
Yeah, and I mean, Jarvan is actually super annoying to deal with in lane. It's almost like the Pantheon, where you can actually just spam your Q, and you can just use the Q for harass, and you have your passive as well for that first hit extra damage. So you can kind of just keep queuing the guy on cooldown, and there's not really a lot that you can do about it. You kind of just have to take it. So it's definitely something that can be pretty frustrating in lane and can set you up for a gank where you have this guy poked down.
And Apex keeping the TPs in, something they like to have full map control on.
Yeah, no, actually pretty smart there by Keane. He's going to ward it out, but he's actually taking a lot of damage. So he does get the ward out to try to stop the saplings, but Azir's going to be able to pick up these 3 CS very likely, and Keane kind of takes some poke for free.
So we'll watch that happen. Usually you can walk over and try to...
Can't give it up?
Yeah, I guess not. He says, oh, we're already in lane. Don't want to lose too much. It's not going to be worth it. Also, it may not work if he knows you're going to get a fast level 2. He's like, well, I'll just stand back, and it won't be worth it altogether. Lanes matched up. I like to see this as well. This really puts Shrimp and Procxin kind of on the docket for having more lane pressure, as they don't have to be running over to turrets to help them go down. Level 2 trying to go quick through the use of their relics as they start off with those stacks.
Yeah, and Cris is going to be up here bullying Feng pretty hard. Graves is going to absolutely smash Maokai if this is a lane that's left alone. But basically the thing is for Maokai, he's going to have to give up a lot of CS, especially range creeps on the turret, because he's going to get bullied. But if the jungler comes up there, guess who's good at gank assist? Maokai. Like, Maokai's fantastic at gank assist. So the Graves, he has to push him in and bully him, but at the same time, that's exposing yourself to a gank.
What do you mean, polluting the lane with smoke isn't good gank assist?
It's all right.
Oh, Summoner heal very early in the bot lane. A level 2 really not considered right away.
Yeah. And honestly, a pretty big mistake from Police and Xpecial. You need to know when to give up the push, right? Right. You have to see that they have the extra creeps ahead. They're going to hit level 2 fast. And that's something that you need to respect. If they didn't, that's going to cost them the Summoner.
Something you always think about. It happens every game. It happens very early in every game, but it still can catch people off guard when you're trying to focus on something else, maybe.
Yeah. And
also, go ahead.
For Procxin, it feels really good.
Yeah.
He's killing the scuttle, and it gets smarked as he's killing it. That's always like the dream, right? So starting off with 1 bounty right off the bat, definitely a really nice advantage.
So Ward actually puts vision on Shrimp as well, so Procxin has a bit more of an idea. He'll start from the bottom side here and then clean up the rest. And this doesn't seem to be going very well for Keane. However, 1 gank towards his lane could easily change things around here once Jarvan gets an item.
Yep, definitely. And I mean, you know, he does have the all-in potential. He's getting poked pretty hard, but you know, he's up 2 CS. He's definitely doing fine. As long as he doesn't get killed, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And he did take TP, where Pirean had to take the exhaust because he has to be the one worried about the all-in, right? So he is going to have that TP advantage. And as far as farm goes, he's doing great.
It's actually a pretty interesting pickup. I like the fact that Jarvan does more damage now, but if Pirean's very fast, he knocks you right out of your ult, and he can shimmy his way out as well. Or he just does 1 and leaves you in your ult. So it'll be pretty quick. Keane's definitely going to have to hit the knock-up. I like the interaction that could possibly happen within this fight. Coming up on 5 minutes, just start hitting 5, so no ults to be coming up just yet, and no real pressure from any of the junglers. As I say that, Procxin is waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and as long as Keane doesn't use his E aggressively, he's going to be relatively safe from these ganks because they don't really have the hard CC. Whereas on the other side, if the Gragas comes around and Pirean gets tagged, it's going to be a different story.
Looks like that may be the case. He walks around, but they say top lane seems like it's going to be a little bit better for this.
Yeah. Yeah, and Feng getting kind of poked out. I mean, he does have it warded up, but he's going to have to back off. And, you know, the wave looks like it's actually pushing towards the Graves. So that's a situation where you can kind of get baited into coming farther forward. And it's pretty bad as the Maokai when you have the CS from range, because all your stuff is AoE. So you just end up pushing it even harder.
We're just going to say we're seeing that here. He's trying to throw saplings out, and with minions left very low, if that kills... Oh, that works out good. Because if it kills that one, it doesn't damage the back line. But yeah, he's stuck pretty much here all game. CSing well, though.
Yep.
From being far away, so...
Yeah, he's definitely doing well.
Some pings in the bot lane as they go back and forth a bit. We see a quarter of time left on that heal for Police, so it really doesn't look like they're going to take advantage of that being down. Kind of hard to gank Corki, Ezreal. Shrimp and Procxin, ring around the rosy. Let's see if they find each other.
Yeah, I think Shrimp is going to find him, and he sees him now walking over that ward, so they could collapse on Procxin here, who could be in trouble, but well, we'll see what happens.
He doesn't want to give it away right away. Yeah, it's a flash. As Cris played that actually really well of kind of saying, oh, he's coming up, I look scared, but no, we're actually going to fight you.
Yeah, I mean, pretty rough from Procxin. Who could predict the gragas taking that path, right? He went down kind of past the wolves, and Procxin was on that side of the jungle, but they just did not cross. So, you know, it's definitely that rough situation, but nice bounty spawn once again here for Procxin. Going to pick up another scuttle. So, as Shrimp bases, there's nothing you can do about that, and it's a big deal. Getting these early bounties helps you get to additional bounties because bounties help you kill players.
So what do you kind of, if you know, I'm putting you on the spot here, is kind of like the fastest time you would find a Kindred with all of those stacks, if she were able to find all of her camps on spawn time?
For Sated?
Yeah, no, for her stacks, for her passive.
Okay, well, you can keep stacking it. It doesn't actually stop. So the first 6 you can get from jungle spawns and monster spawns, but it can actually stack infinitely. So it depends how far you want to go. But I mean, you know, getting a couple early stacks like this, too early, especially if you can pick one up off of a gank, that can get you to that 6 stacks very quickly. And if you can get 6 stacks by like 15 minutes or something, that would be insane. Okay,
so that's the insane mark. We have the note. If they have that many stacks, we will be sure to mark Procxin as insane.
Yeah, I mean, especially in competitive, it's very hard because people don't want to take these risks, right?
Absolutely.
If I'm playing Kindred in solo queue, I'm dying for that bounty. I want that.
Oh, look, I'm level 4 and they're wolves. It's a mark.
Exactly.
Here I go.
You're scaling, Riv. You're scaling. But, you know, these guys are probably going to take it a little bit differently than I would, but it's definitely fun to go for those bounties.
Well, so far, Procxin has had luck in his favor. Level 6s as well across the map, so we may see some action here if anybody gets a good lane push into a TP. Right now, actually, Keane's going to be forced to stay mid, but this opens up a possibility for Shrimp. Here comes the appetizer, the flash out. Keane actually doesn't want after that. They use the ultimate, and Keane just kind of takes a drink ride there.
Yeah, Shrimp actually kind of pulled the trigger a little too early. He went for the body slam flash, but he was too far away. And honestly, I think he was lucky that Pirean even flashed. Pirean kind of like respected it, but he respected it a bit too much because Shrimp actually just straight up missed. So, you know, they do trade flash for flash. Shrimp going to throw out the ultimate as well, but I mean, that's not that big of a deal. Had he held the ultimate, the next gank would have been almost guaranteed, so that would have been a pretty big deal. On a flashless mid laner with gragas ult, there's not much you can do. But either way, you know, you're going to take that trade.
Maybe they will be returning.
Yeah.
Bot lane pushed up here. Looks like actually Gate's going to back. They may not synergize here on the backs. Going to have to be very careful for MASH. And still in the top lane. Pretty impressed with Feng here, being able to farm. Cris, obviously, it's going to take him a while to kill Feng, so you just end up CSing anyways. But
yeah,
Feng has kept himself safe as well.
I think the fact that he's going even in this lane is actually pretty impressive.
Right.
Feng. Oh, he's going for it.
Wait a minute. Oh, TP coming down as well. And it is going to be a fight. Here is Keane. He gets mean. Drops the Cataclysm onto Feng. A bit of a heal there. The Lamb's Respite as well will pop up Feng just a bit more. Does he have another auto to keep him alive? Procxin actually almost turned this entire gank around. And now the 1v1 will happen. Cris knows this could be dangerous. But actually, why back off with Pirean there? Was he trying to pull him back into the fight?
Yeah,
interesting. They back off, though.
I think he just thought he was going to get, not going to have the damage to kill through the Warlord's Bloodlust plus,
True.
You know, on Cris. But I actually think that, although the Lamb's Respite looked good, I actually think that he might have got the double kill if he just let the Maokai die. I'd have to see the replay, but it looked like both of them were really low, and it's just kind of like, the Maokai had nothing left in the tank anyway. He wasn't.
I see what you're saying. Here's the teleport now. A cast to get away. So wasted for Feng there. He stops him from getting an assist, but still the team's going to grab pressure out of this.
Yeah, Feng making some plays. I mean, going aggressive in the top lane, you know, getting a kill onto your Kindred, that's fine. And then he TP's mid lane, going to get a kill onto your AD carry as well. So both of the AD carries here for Tip pick up a kill, and you got to be feeling really good about that if you're Tip.
Just going to bite him. He's saying I have the chance to.
Just
why
Hank,
not?
bro, I just want to walk by. Not trying to fight.
Gate's kind of just taunting right now, having a little bit of fun, making sure they don't get any damage on the turret. We're just denying that, really, saying, yeah, focus on me, don't focus on the turret. It's really not doing too much either way. 10 and a half.
Procxin.
And here comes Procxin right out of the edge of the jungle. So Cris will have a bit.
They could dive this, maybe, but I think they actually could have dived that for sure. I mean, Procxin has his flash, and if they let Feng start that up, I think they can do it. But Cris has his flash too, and they want to play it safe. So either way, good make him base.
With Lamb's Respite being down, a little too worried. So again, Impulse just kind of sitting, waiting, watching. There's been no real big openings in this game just yet for someone to take off. We do see the Procxin has got himself going a little bit. We're waiting for that advantage to go on. Let's see this again.
Here's this top lane 2v2 once again. Oh, but
no,
we're going to jump out as Gate and Keane are having a big fight here in the jungle.
They've been toying with Apex in the bot here for so long. Gate with no mana. They were just sitting at the turret, and then they enter the jungle. Still Mash has no mana. Apex is obviously going to take advantage of this. They do pick up a kill onto Keane. Krug kill! Oh, Krug life! He gets the red buff, and he gets taken down. You are right, Azael. He does have ultimate. He has Lamb's Respite.
Oh, Feng gonna get trained down here by Cris.
One last.
Oh, he does get him, but I mean, that was a crazy fight. I'm not sure if he doesn't have it, maybe there's some sort of the UI is wrong or something, but I can't believe he didn't ult there. I mean, he had a lot of time, and that's pretty shocking to me if he actually does have it.
Maybe he thought he was making it, and red buff took him by surprise.
Yeah.
It was one of those last hits from Mash where the guys were able to connect with him. But yeah, we saw at the turret, Impulse was kind of hanging out very low. We saw Gate kind of taunting them back and forth. And then instead of backing, they all stayed. And did not turn out well. 5-4, and now 1,000 gold lead for Apex here. One of the earlier leads that they have had. And there's still no real love for the objectives this game just yet. We'll see who starts to grab a hold of them quite soon.
And I mean, Shrimp has not been having his best game, but Police has been coming up pretty big, especially the benefactor of that last fight. Now has a full Trinity Force against just the BF sword from Mash. Yeah, Mash has to buy, but I mean, this is a 3-0 Corki, and he is looking huge. And here's the fight. I mean, Shrimp is trying to steal away this red buff. He gets it, but I mean, this is a pretty aggressive start. The Azir is going to arrive faster, but this is a 4v3 scenario, 5v3 right now, actually, for Apex. So. And Maokai was able to stop that TP in the top lane, and Procxin coming around the backside, but just not really able to put out enough. And pretty surprised here that he actually did not ult. I feel like
got the hot foot.
Had he ulted early, maybe he kept one of his teammates alive. Like if he kept the Azir alive, then maybe could have made something happen there, because Mash was still full HP, and Procxin was pretty healthy before he actually lost his teammates. So a pretty big boo-boo there by Procxin.
2-1. Still got a few kills, so the boo-boos are kind of band-aided, you could say. But can't afford to make any more boo-boos. He had a much more of a boo-boo-free game last time. I'm going to stop saying boo-boo now. 21.7 to 20.6. Still that gold lead held by Apex, but it's not getting bigger. Just kind of staying here as a few of these fights happen. Level 9s, 10s around the map, so we're looking to see level 2s quite soon here and somebody to make some action out of it.
Yeah, and I mean, Apex going to be able to take down another top turret, so they are up 2 turrets to 0, and that is basically their gold lead right there. Keane did have the counter pick, but you got to say Pirean's doing pretty well for himself here. You know, he's up CS and has a kill. You know, Keane definitely not out of the woods just yet. And I mean, the thing is, with Keane, he's always going to have the chance to kind of one-shot either Mash or the Azir. And if he does get that full combo, or even maybe pops the Kindred before he can get his ult off, that could be a game-winning play. So
that's true.
Even if this Jarvan does get a little bit behind, as long as he has good farm, he's going to be relevant, and he's always going to be a threat.
Double blue buffs. Apex feeling good about that. Stealing the last one away from champion or buff. And they're going to start just kind of relaxing at this point. Get those wards out. They already have a few vision wards pushed forward. It seems like they've already actually cleared that jungle. So everybody back, reset, get some core items in. First item, Maw, coming in here for Keane to start off.
Yep. So he does have that Maw. Nashor's completed up for Pirean. The double exhaust can be pretty big here in these fights as well, since Gate and Pirean are sitting on that. And as far as scaling, I really like Tip's team, because there's a lot of kind of physical damage here from Apex. Yeah, Gragas is doing magic and Corki's doing a fair bit of magic, but the Maokai is going to be a tough nut to crack. And you know, as he gets really, really tanky, Kindred keeps scaling up, Azir keeps scaling up. You have the Trundle to shred all the armor off of either Shrimp or Keane, depending on who's going to build tankier. So this is something where I think Apex is going to be a little bit scared going to the late game, Corki as well, but they definitely have big potential. They always have big potential.
Let's see. Okay, Police starts getting some packages. It uses the package.
Package delivered. Right to the Wolves.
Right delivered. Bot turret's going to go down with a bit of the pressure that Impulse is able to put on the map, but do they have the wave here to take top? Is there the defense coming in from the side of Impulse? 2 more members join. Should be good with Pirean coming in. Gates able to put up the pillars as well to stop them. But there's also a push up here. Procxin and Mash are running right up the river. Are they going to stick on this engage, or are they actually just going to let them walk out and try to take mid? No, it's going to stick. Feng tries to go right over the wall with the flash. He may be way too far in, even with Vengeful Maelstrom on. He finds himself out, but Keane flies in with the flag and drag, and instantly, no, he's alive. He does not get deleted. Lamb's Respite keeps everybody up and breathing, and the Iron Lung goes down. So do the members of each team. It's a double kill for Pirean. They then drop Xpecial, and now, as the triple kill comes in, they're going to look to close these out. That's a Quadra, the Penta in the eyes of Pirean. Arden plays there.
He has blue buff. He
Mash
can go.
in range.
Here he goes.
Be it? The shutdown from Mash. Scumbag Mash.
Mash gonna take the Penta away, but what an incredible fight from Pirean and Procxin, the dynamic duo. The Lambs Respite to keep Maokai alive at the very end, and that Azir wall was beautiful, completely zoning him out, and that is what turned the fight. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff from Tip.
Wow. Cross, no teleports needed for that one. They set that into place as soon as they said Apex is pressured up far. Let's do a cross-map rotation to fight, and it worked. Let's see it again.
And here we go. Feng gonna go pretty hypey here. Flashes in. He does block that body slam, but he's taking a lot of damage. It's looking like it's gonna be a bad fight, but look at Procxin staying to the side, and here he comes. He gets over there just in time, gets the Lambs Respite down. Here's the Azir wall. Watch Keane get rejected by this Azir wall. You know, he gets pushed back out. He tries to come in again, and he gets rejected again. They do finish off the Kindred, but at this point, the Mash and Pirean have been doing so much damage in the back line that there's just nothing left here for Apex. And this is a massive turn of events for Tip. I mean, a quadra kill on your Azir at this point in the game, this guy's going to be unstoppable.
That is crazy. What a fight for Impulse to come up strong on. Great job.
And Mash, why you got to do that? That was even going to be the style in Penta. You was sliding in. That was going to be sick, Riv.
Oh, man.
You couldn't scream Penta kill instead of quadra kill. That sounds way cooler.
I was waiting for it, man.
I was too. I was excited.
Explosive fights are coming. Oh, well, I'm going to have a talk with Mash later.
We'll have to have a talk.
9-6, 18 minutes. I almost said 18:06. 18 minutes on the clock. 32,000 years. Impulse again puts the game back in their favor. Apex has trouble getting a hold of that lead, but it's only been from these kind of miraculous fights Impulse is able to pull off. It's very hard for Apex to see that kind of thing coming.
Yeah, you know what's an annoying item? Rylai's is an annoying item.
Oh.
Now the Azir has it. And a full Rylai's picked up there pretty much. It's pretty devastating, going to add a lot of damage, and the slow and control it adds, you know, on this team that's going to kind of have to file through. They have 3 melee champions, and it's going to be really frustrating to deal with that for Apex.
Yeah, he had a lot of money there. You said going to the full. He went from the needless to the full Rylai's after that quadra fight. Impulse able to grab the dragon as well. Nobody's going to want to fight this guy, and Pirean's going to be able to drop the turrets even that much faster as well. Sundisk down in mid means they can set up base all the way outside in the mid lane now on Apex's side.
Yep, and that's going to be the 5th bounty of the game there for Procxin, and he's at sated as well at 19 minutes, so pretty darn fast considering the state of the game. It's not like he picked up a ton of random kills or anything, and he's already sated. He's got 5 bounties. This guy is scaling super hard. Azir is scaling super hard, and this is a team comp that's looking really tough for Apex to deal with, as you know, we have the Tabby Sunfire, almost that frozen heart down on Feng, and this guy's going to be a brick wall, and when you add on top of that, you have the ult from Kindred to protect him, and then this insane backline DPS.
Yeah. We saw that Azir banned in quite a few of the games in this series. He was down on that list, gets left open, and absolutely kind of crushing this game. 5, 1, and 2. And what kind of is it, if you could speak to that? We've seen a lot more Azirs lately. What is it that is kind of making people enjoy that gameplay again.
I mean,
bringing him back.
It's just a champion where if you can play it perfectly, it has everything, right? The guy has wave clear, he has zone control, he has engage with his stream and shuffle, he has disengage, he has his own turret to create these places of power. So the champion really just kind of has everything. And I think that, you know, with not very many assassins in the meta right now, like a lot of people aren't really playing them, I think that he can be pretty successful in the mid lane. Really
flourish as well. Seems to happen here. Also enabling the team with that quick Rylai's build to allow more kills in the follow-ups.
Yeah.
And it does not look like Apex is actually coordinating well around that. One of their best things is their placement in a team fight. That becomes much harder now. Police, still very big. He's kind of had not lackluster games, but he's just been sitting on the back burner. Been a good carry when it needs to be, playing well. This game, he's starting to get that Corki going. So they definitely have some options once they approach turrets or objectives to get his damage in. Impulse really running around the map and not letting those group around objectives happen whatsoever. Apex is always in reaction right now.
Yeah, I mean, Police has had a great game so far. Mash picking up, you know, a lot of kills and assists now, though. He's getting pretty darn strong himself, and it's going to be one of those things where it's just going to get tougher and tougher. And Feng, you know, he's not too scared of his Graves anymore. He has a lot of armor, but here comes the engage with the package.
Package delivered. Procxin does not get to use his ultimate, and then Gate gets absolutely exploded. Exactly the thing Apex is good at, finding that window back in, and it looks like they are going to be very forceful here. Go for Baron.
And I mean, the Maokai's in base. He has TP. They got to try something. We'll see if they can stop this at all. I mean, it's still pretty early. Baron's going to be doing a lot of damage, but they're rushing this.
They found the fight without the Azir the first time, and the second time they crush him out of the fight. Apex with beautiful control to start this one off and focus. All they wanted was Tip to come here. They just hook, line, and sinker. They weren't going to keep the Baron going, and that's going to be Feng falling down. Mash is going to run for the hills, and Apex clean up nicely at Baron.
Yeah, I mean, good job by Apex, but I feel like Tip rushed it. They kind of just went way too early. I feel like you can wait that out. Baron at 21 minutes is going to do a lot of damage to you. If you are a bit more patient there, I think you can win that 3v5. They felt like it was going to die instantly, but this is not like a 35-minute Baron. So if you look at this, the Baron is very high HP still. They go in right away, Pirean gets caught, and he's pretty much deleted right off the bat. The Baron still had like 8,000 health. If you wait, you know, 10 more seconds or something, allow the Maokai to start this fight with you know, your Azir and your Lucian in the backline, I think this is a fight that they can actually win with the added damage of the Baron, or at least come out in a better trade.
Apex peeling off very quick with the knowledge that Tip was coming, so
yeah.
Good job by them. And items galore they're able to start building up now, which we're already to the 2 items of Tip. They finally gotten theirs. Fights are going to be very difficult here on out. Everybody's going to live quite a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a great pick by Apex, right? And they are able to get a bunch of kills there, but they don't get the Baron, they don't get any turrets, and Tip is still having this monster late game comp, so they're going to need to be looking for more of this, right? They cannot rest on their laurels off the back of that pick. They have to be picking people off nonstop.
Apex looks to push mid here, hovering to the left. See if they can possibly get some wards in, or at least have a lane to disengage to. Bot lane, Keane starts to actually take a split push role for himself. He's up against Feng in that bot lane.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not someone he can assassinate. I think that he can win that fight for sure, like over time. I would expect Keane to win that, but Feng is easily going to be able to match him.
Not worth.
Yeah.
It'd be funny to watch, though. He's going to back. So it looks like Apex was pushing up the wave, seeing if they could get anything there for the time being. 1 minute onto Dragon. So we'll get back, refresh the wards, and get prepared for the objective fight. If they are able to kind of walk Tip around it again, it's going to be great for Apex.
Yeah, and I mean, Police really strong now. He has the IE and the Trinity Force completed, so that's a huge power spike. Like, 2 most expensive items you can buy, basically. Having those completed, the items are going to come in faster now for him. And, you know, 6, 1, and 2, he's up 20 CS. He's saying, mash who? And he's looking good.
Yes, I will mash him. Thank you. Level 12 as well. That'll help with a little bit of the damages as Dragon comes up. We'll see if it's actually contested. Azir is on the other side, but he should be able to make it in time with 20 seconds there. It's about 30-ish seconds to run to lane without boots, so it's about the same distance. And he has boots.
He does indeed. He's got them Swifty boots. And, you know, Tip has 2 dragons already. They would love to pick themselves up a 3rd, you know, get that move speed as well as denying that first dragon. I mean, 25 minutes into the game, first dragon, the 6% AD AP starts to matter.
That was a flash. That was a flash from Procxin, actually, and Keane is going to be going quite hard on him. He dies. Lamb's Respite keeps them alive. Actually didn't even use it, sorry. And they are still alive after that. Procxin likes to hold that.
Procxin is a monster. I mean, the fact that he went that aggressive, he flashed engaging as a Kindred on a full DPS Jarvan and a Gragas. I mean, what world is this? Oh, he gets the ultimate Police.
It does work. Okay, Apex. Police is going to be going down in this one.
No, Police not like that,
he was
dude.
Like, I'm Police. This is self-raid.
Oh no!
He went in hard.
That was hard to watch, and I mean, on the back of that Police, you probably just gave the other team the Baron.
Police, please.
Oh, that is rough.
Chris?
I mean, that seemed like just something he should not go for. That was super greedy, and Procxin makes him pay for it with the fast fingers on that ultimate. And now this has got to be Baron. Shrimp's dead for a long time. We'll see what Cris and Xpecial can do, but they don't have enough damage, I don't think, to force him off.
Make sure they keep some of that AD damage over onto the Baron. Gate's getting quite low. They trade the damage over to Feng. Baron does more damage if you're behind it. Not the best place to stand. Luckily, Apex does not engage on them. Could have been quite hectic.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge swing for a tip.
Yes.
Procxin coming up big again and again. I mean, he flash engages, doesn't even have to use his ultimate, and then Police is saying, I'm gonna catch this guy sleeping.
So what was,
Procxin's just going in, man. He doesn't care. He's in there. Hysteric's Prox, and he is saying, I don't need it. He's tracking the damage that they're doing, and he just thinks he's fine, and he's right. And then here comes Police. Police thinks he's going to catch Procxin slipping here, and Procxin starts the recall. Here comes Police, and he is just too fast on this ultimate. And I mean, yeah, he walked right by his opponent, so I mean, that is insulting. That's like, to think that he's not going to hit that ultimate, it wasn't like he even sneaked behind him. He actually walked right past Mash.
For even the first time I thought that was in, I thought he like shortchanged the package, but he didn't even have package.
No, he didn't have package, and he walked right past the Lucian to try to do it. So, I mean, I don't even know, even if you kill him, you're still dying there. So I just don't know what Police was thinking.
Interesting. Maybe he was thinking he's a little bit stronger than he actually was.
Yeah.
4-0-6 on the side of Mash. 6-2-2 now for Police after his headlong engage. You're going to be looking towards the mid lane here. Keane's Jarvan, 0-4-9. Probably not putting out the amount of damage he would like at this point, or able to be as aggressive as he would like at this point. Impulse now pushing onto the mid turret here to take down one of the second tiers. That's going to be easily taken.
And Feng is fighting Keane on the side here. He's taking a lot of turret damage. Not something he really wants to go for, but probably just going to be able to walk away. And Keane's the one that has to flash out of there. Going to be another turret for Tip, who is just closing the jaws here.
Wow. Nicely done around the horn. Top tier is really the only one to grab, but there's no minion wave in place. So is it back or stay for more? And they're going to choose the smart one. They're going to back. They're pinging actually all the way through to say, we have Baron. This is going to be ticking. We'll just walk it out. If we have some backs, we'll meet you there. And that's going to be Azir and Maokai coming up right now.
Yeah, and I mean, the rest of the squad is healthy. As long as they play it safe, they wait for their other two, they should be able to push this next turret as well. But they definitely don't want to overextend or get caught. And, I mean, now that they are grouping up here, it's going to be pretty scary. We have Maokai pushing in the mid lane. He still has TP.
Procxin, he's loving it. He's like, I'm ranged, but I'm going to be melee the whole time, even when he flashed on Keane, toe-to-toe. They have just walked cleanly from bot to top lane here, still using Baron, and Apex was not able to do anything about it due to the strength of Tip and the position on the map. Yeah. And it looks like they are just going to keep, as you said, closing the jaws here. There's no reason
Everyone's going for Maokai. They can keep pushing here. Maokai is drawing everyone over, and Procxin is over the wall now. He's going for Police.
Looks like they are getting stretched quite thin, and Impulse is looking to directly inject themselves back into the LCS. Well, this will leave Apex to fight TDK for that final spot. It's not over yet, but Impulse is very much so looking to end this game soon. Now they back out here to keep it very safe. This is a lot like game one, where they were methodical about what they were taking, would not overdive.
Yeah, and I mean, Tip wants to get out of here. They have a lot of gold to spend on those three guys that did not base. This is a very rich team now. All of a sudden, 6,000 gold injected from that Baron power play, up 9,000 gold total. And that is a huge lead for a team that is already going to outscale you. And it's like, at this point, look at this Maokai. This guy's a brick wall. He's got his Spirit Visage in there. He has Frozen Heart. He's working on, that's probably a Thornmail, could be a Dead Man's, but he's going to be so hard to get through. And the Azir and the Lucian have everything they need to do the damage.
Procxin, once again on the Kindred, farming himself up nicely, 139 to 119.
8 bounties. Damn. That's a lot, Riv. He's going to be doing so much damage to these tanks. That's percent HP. Keep stacking. And that's the worry of this infinitely scaling champion. It's you get super late game, yeah, the gragas is great early game, but Shrimp, where were you? You got nothing done early,
right?
And now you have this champion that just straight up is just better than yours.
And it was very interesting to hear that from Shrimp as well before this part of the series went live, where he was saying, you know, myself and Eve are very different. Yeah. He's more of the aggressive, I'm more of the tank. When we saw a fantastic Kindred from Shrimp just last game, and it almost kind of, maybe that's in his head. They know that the players know themselves, but he actually had a very good Kindred to synergize with the team.
Yeah, I mean, he looked great on Kindred. He's looked a little bit out of sorts on the gragas. Has not been able to really get a single good engage in this game. You know, there's been no flash body slam ults to knock someone in.
Right.
There's been no ulting someone out of the Kindred ult, but here comes a fight. Oh, a nice engage there from Xpecial.
It's going to be Gate going down. Kind of Impulse. Very, very strong on this one. I was going to say it's almost getting reminiscent of last game when Apex found their way back in, but it's still Impulse, mounds and mounds ahead, able to make Apex respect their power. And this is going to be Xpecial falling down. That's 2 members already that have fallen recently from either team. People are just letting each other fall away. They got to be much more careful here. It looks like they will stop. Procxin not going for the careful, he's going for the ham. And it looks like he throws down the Lamb's Respite. The whole team's gonna follow in under inhibitor turrets now, as they are able to take down Cris, another factor that would stop them. And Impulse is looking to, in moments, solidify their spot back in the LCS. Shrimp's gonna go down right in front of the Nexus. Police doing what he can to lock down the department, but it's not gonna happen. Prisoners are running chaos, and it's gonna be the Nexus going down. Impulse are back in the LCS.
Wow, what a series there from Impulse. Looking great in this final game, and they just pulled the trigger. Procxin is looking like a new man. This guy was going off. Even this game, his scoreline wasn't as impressive, but he had so many bounties, so many aggressive plays. He knew his limits. I mean, the kind of stuff he's pulling off here looks ridiculous, but he knows what he can do on this champion, and Procxin looking extremely impressive today.
Nicely done in the strength, the caliber of play that they brought out. Gate, his few words to the fans in the beginning were, Apex is a very good team. They have players that have also been in the LCS stage, but we have had the past 9 weeks to practice and train that. And it did look like the veteran capabilities of Tip came out in these games.
Yeah, I mean, Apex stole the game, but I mean, it really looked like a bit of a steal. When you look at this series as a whole, Tip was extremely dominant. They played incredibly well. Procxin, I think, is the clear MVP this series. I think he absolutely was smashing, but the whole team was looking really, really good.
Nicely done all around. Apex coming in very strong throughout the season. A lot of people match these guys to be the team that would lock it down, the one that would be able to get themselves in. And coming into this game, I felt they were very strong as well. We saw the 30-minute fight phase where the organization of that team came in, but it seems like that also has to be coupled with a bit of a gold lead, with an advantage that builds their confidence, because if they weren't up in gold, they weren't confident.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Tip, a team that did the LCS, you know, struggled to get those early leads, but even without them, looked pretty strong in team fights. And here, they were able to have a bit of both, right? They're able to get those early leads and really to compound them and just keep extending their leads and take these big fights. So they looked really strong. And I mean, you know, Keane kind of going for the last counter pick, making their team very AD heavy, going for the assassin Jarvan, and it really did not work out at all. You know, Pirean looked completely comfortable handling that on the Azir. He got the advantage in lane. They were not able to get anything done with the Jarvan and gragas combo early. So this Azir just kind of straight up outscaled, and Keane was a non-factor this game, whereas the last one he kind of carried. And
looking at these games, there were moments when you thought, what is Impulse doing? How did this happen? Are they going to still win? We have a replay of that right here as Scumbag Mash denies a pentakill. Going over.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a fight that was once again looking bad for TIP. Feng really far in there, but Procxin saves the day, gets the Lamb's Respite down just in time, and look at Pirean in the back line with Mash, untouched. Both the big damage dealers doing so much. Keane gets rejected by the Azir ult there, and now it's just a matter of chase him down. And this backline just was completely untouched. The Mash Pirean duo got so much done, and the fact that Maokai never died in this fight is hilarious. And here we go. Pirean looking like he has the guaranteed pentakill. He's sliding on in for it, but Mash says no.
Why?
Why, Mash?
No need to do that.
Yeah.
But it feels good. It's a moment you always remember with that person, so you're sharing. It's no longer just your pentakill. It was that time I stole it from you. So you have a buddy-buddy moment, but that's absolutely not how it works. Looking at how this game went, though, as I said before, Impulse is going to have to carry this back in, right?
Yep.
That the clean play, the way they were able to take things down, it's going to have to follow up because they come back into the LCS.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the fact of the matter is, though, this is definitely something that is a boost of confidence, right? Yes, you were playing against a challenger team here, but this was the best challenger team, and it's also, without Seraph this year, they won 3 games the entire season. They just won 3-1, right? So this is something where it's like this is good for them, and this looked like a much better tip than we saw.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you said it before. We saw a lot of good performances this match, but one man stood above the rest. I think you know who it is. Earned the title of Player of the Series. And for this series, that was Procxin. This guy absolutely crushed the entire time. He was playing Kindred, back and forth to Graves, then to Kindred once again, and it really didn't seem to phase him. Also had to face 2 different jungle styles throughout the game.
Yeah. I mean, Procxin was an absolute monster this series. Complete showcase of Kindred in game 1. He played it really well in that last game as well. He was always there, keeping his farm up, getting the bounties. He had great ults throughout, and on Graves as well. I mean, he went had a perfect KDA game on Graves. He went absolutely off on that champion too. So definitely really impressive stuff for him.
Looking at how Procxin played or everything, I forgot what I was going to say, but really coming out strong in this one. Something that we didn't see from him throughout the season pretty much. Procxin was kind of the guy that couldn't find a way to help Feng in the top lane, and Feng would do okay but then fall behind, and same thing with Pirean in the mid. But they have ironed out all of those situations here coming into the past weeks, and really Impulse looking like a much better team. And like I said, for Procxin to come out and do that, it means that experience is going to be huge if they can actually make a playoff situation. If he can get this pressure on the stage and work with it like that when they are about to lose themselves, then what can he do when they're actually going for the cup or something?
Yeah, I mean, you have to love the confidence.
Exactly. Right now, we want to welcome Tip's victorious support, Gate to the desk support, top at one point, mid lane as well. You've done mounds for Impulse coming into this split. I got to say, how's it feel to know that you're back in, though?
Oh, it definitely feels great. It's just the promotion tournament in itself. It's just like a huge sigh of relief after it's over. So really happy right now.
Yeah, so I mean, coming into this, a lot of the talk was, oh, Apex has this. Apex is so strong. The best challenger team, all this. Were you guys worried at all, or were you confident the whole time?
Actually, during the regular season, we had quite a bit of time to scrim Apex. So going into it, we had some experience against them already, and really, I thought we were a stronger team as like a whole. So I don't think we were too worried, actually.
And how does it do when you're kind of facing a team that can switch out a player? Do you let that play on your mentality, or you just keep playing your own game? Because it seems like it could switch things up.
I think we were definitely a little thrown off in Game 3 when they switched in Shrimp. And really, I think that's a really strong point for Apex. They can swap in players like that. Really, you still play the game the same way, but you just have to keep in mind that player has a different style. So I think it's not too bad, but it's definitely an advantage.
Yeah, so I mean, we saw you make the adjustment of having the Rek'Sai ban when Shrimp did swap in. Were there any other adjustments that we didn't really see that you guys were trying to make?
Against Shrimp, I guess mostly it's the Rek'Sai ban. We've seen it before in the Challenger Series, and Mash was his former teammate. He knows how strong he is on that champion. But I think between the two junglers, Eve and Shrimp, they're not too different, but they're still definitely different. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is.
So going into the last game, when you guys were able to get the Azir, how did you feel about that? Were you surprised that Azir was left open? Because Echo had been, not banned through the whole series. People were just kind of taking it back and forth. But then were you surprised by that change-up going into the last game?
I think from the ending of Game 3, we knew we had to change a little in pick ban. And generally, it's easier to ban on blue side. So we expected to get one of our preferred champions, and Azir was one of them, so we're pretty happy we got it.
Awesome. Now, looking at what I believe it was Feng that said previously, there's a few times that it's not really communication errors and language difference. It's I want to do dragon, or somebody wants to do top, or something happens. But what were the communication errors in the pentakill?
Well, actually, Mash told me after the game he just crit him with 20% crit. So maybe that's just luck. I don't think they're. I said a lot like AD tank, give Penta.
Yeah.
But you know, Mash is just a dirty dog.
Yeah, he wanted that gold.
Yeah, exactly. What a jerk, man.
Yeah. Well, still a pretty insane play. You guys had to be pretty excited on the back of that. You know, what was the series defining moment for you? Where was the moment that you knew you guys had that game?
Actually, I think the first 2 games after the first 2, we were feeling really confident. The game generally when we scrim, it's not as clean, but on stage, everyone's mentally focused, and we were able to play clean games 1 and 2. In game 1, I think most of us were just trolling. We're just running around the map doing random stuff. So it felt nice after the first 2 games.
Cool.
Well, the confidence definitely showed. Gay, thank you so much for the interview. It's always a pleasure, and best of luck to the team as you re-enter into the summer split.
Thank you.
All right, we are plumb out of games for today. I'm sorry, I know. So let's check out how the promotion bracket is shaping out. Right now, Renegades and Team Impulse have successfully held on to their LCS spots, but challenger teams TDK and APX will have one more shot at grabbing that last LCS spot, and we'll face off for that tomorrow in the last series of the promotion tournament. It's going to be a great game. Both of these teams are ridiculously hungry, Azael, to get this win.
Yeah, I mean, no kidding. You know, especially as Apex, you come into this as the favorites, you get knocked down. You know, what's your mentality going into this? They've got to really want this. This is a team that still has that chance to get in. And TDK, you know, they got smacked around a little bit by Renegades, but they have a good shot here against Apex. And this is a team that they played throughout the Challenger Series. They know them, and they know what to expect.
Yep, and we'll be bringing you that series tomorrow, noon Pacific time. So set your reminders and make sure you meet us back here for the conclusion of the 2016 North American Spring Promotion Tournament. Now, for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
This is the day of happiness for these teams. No one is officially eliminated yet. Only 2 teams qualifying for the LCS.
From blind Kez, what are you doing? First blood to Crumbs. Ninja's getting the better of this now. They're getting lower and lower over time, and look at that. Well, speaking of dealing magic damage,
Come on, man.
Goodbye, players. Game 1 to Renegades. Ninja knocked up, taking plenty of damage from the Might of the Void, but no, it's not enough.
Goodness.
And they do get the Tempered Fate onto Lucian. OQ not fighting for a while. What a beautiful stun. A double coming out, and look at that one. We're seeing Alex go for the play because he's got a jungler coming around, but Alex is so close to dead. The last one doesn't come through. Ninja lands the Q.
Let's fight it. Let's go in now. Kindred. We gotta end.
End.
Renegades are back into the North American LCS.
I'm tilted because I had to come back here tomorrow. That's what's tilting me.
Hey man. No. We can sweep, reverse sweep, and you don't need to come anymore.
Hey, go. I'm trying to help you. I'm stunned.
Kill
Maokai.
Kill Maokai.
Yeah.
Nice. Mash is on the Nexus turret. The rest of the team is saying, kills! We can get more kills! Squirrel! Where is it?
The Kindred ult. Okay, I stun after Kindred ult. Good.
Go, Oriana, no flash, Oriana, no flash.
Nice.
This is going to be game number 2. What a flip of the switch.
Ezra. We're on Echo.
I'm backing.
Gragas, Jarvan.
Corki.
Okay.
AD tank.
I tank. Woo! I'm sorry. I quit.
I go top.
Be the Nexus going down. Impulse are back in the LCS.